Okay, let's dive right into this. Today, we're having a deeply transformative conversation about life's struggles. You know those moments, right? The ones where absolutely everything feels incredibly chaotic, totally out of tune, and just completely broken. Well, we're going to look at how those exact messy moments are actually the perfect raw materials for a masterpiece.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everyday Hope and Simply Grace. Breathe in hope, walk in grace. My absolute goal with this explainer today is to help you take that deep breath of hope and find some really practical ways to walk in grace, honestly, no matter what your current circumstances look like. So let's get right to it.
Let's be completely real for a second. How many of us have a literal PhD in asking this exact question, why me? I know I've spent years majoring in it. When life gets chaotic, when the car breaks down on the highway, or when that terrifying diagnosis comes back, our immediate knee-jerk default is to look up and shout, why me? We just sit there in the mess, feeling completely targeted by the universe. But what if that very question is actually the thing keeping us stuck? What if we are looking at the entire situation completely upside down?
Meeting the master. You see, we often completely forget the three roles of the creator when we're stressing out. First, there's the Almighty. This is ultimate power, folks, the creator who literally holds the universe together. Yet, it's kind of hilarious when you think about it. We will sit at our desks absolutely terrified of an earthly boss, totally forgetting that we actually report to the ultimate boss of the universe. Second is the loving Father. This means boundless grace and a genuine parent's heart for us. And third, the skillful potter. He is a master craftsman who doesn't make mistakes. He knows exactly how to shape us. The broken piano? Picture this. Imagine a great master musician on vacation out in the countryside. He's walking past a rural farmhouse and hears the most horrific, clunky noise coming from inside. It's an old, broken, completely out-of-tune piano. Now, most people would just throw it away, but the farmer kept it. So the master musician knocks on the door and asks to play it. He sits down, and suddenly, the most breathtaking, beautiful music flows out of this farmhouse. The farmer is just stunned and asks, how on earth did you make that broken piece of junk sound so incredible? And the musician gives an answer that just hits right at the core of our lives. He says, I stood outside and I listened. I figured out exactly which keys were broken, which ones were out of tune, and which ones didn't play at all. Then, I sat down and wrote a custom melody that perfectly uses every single broken key. Wow. Just let that sink in for a second. God doesn't make mistakes. He looks at your life, your flaws, your messy past, your broken keys, and instead of throwing you out, the master sits down and crafts a masterpiece perfectly tailored to your exact brokenness. Reframing your struggle. Now, this is literally one of the most practical analogies you will ever hear. Imagine your life as a ship sailing on the water, and suddenly you hit a massive cluster of rocks. You're stuck. Usually, we immediately pray for the rocks to be removed. Fix the problem, get me a new job, heal this immediately. And hey, sometimes the rock is removed. But guess what? You sail forward and just hit another rock. But what about raising the water? Instead of just praying for the rocks to magically disappear, what if we prayed for the water level of our spiritual maturity to rise? Because when your soul grows, the water level rises, and you simply sail right over those exact same rocks that used to get you stuck. And this leads to something really beautiful that we call the I am shift, which is finding absolute peace in God's presence, even when your circumstances do not change at all. There is this profound story of someone who lived with a severe, painful illness for decades. For years, they begged God to just wave his hand and hear them. But one day, the realization hit them so deeply. God simply said, I am. I am the healer, yes, but even if I don't heal you in the exact way you want right now, I am still God, and I still love you infinitely. That single realization removed the bitterness entirely. The illness remained, but the absolute peace arrived. The water level rose. So we have to replace our old default question. We need to take a big red marker, cross out why me, and start asking, what am I learning? This is the ultimate internal mindset shift. Instead of playing the helpless victim to the chaos, you become an active, engaged participant in the master's classroom. You start saying, okay, this situation is super frustrating. These rocks are sharp. But what is the master teaching me right now? How exactly is he tuning my broken keys? Life plus moment. Okay, here are 3 highly practical, grounded steps you can use the very next time you feel stuck on those rocks. Step 1, pause the complaint. When that frustration hits,
Just stop the why me narrative before it even starts spiraling. Just take a breath. Step 2, ask, what am I learning? Consciously pivot your brain to look for the growth opportunity. Ask for that water level to rise. And step 3, let the master work. Surrender your constant need to control the outcome. Trust that the almighty, loving Father and skillful potter actually has his hands on the keys.
Listen, if you remember absolutely nothing else from our time today, please let it be this. Every ordinary struggle is a chance for extraordinary grace. When you finally stop fighting the master and start letting him play your broken keys, the everyday, mundane mess of your life literally transforms into a masterpiece of grace. It's all about surrender and perspective.
Walk in grace.
Before you go today, I really want you to ask yourself, what is one specific broken key in your life right now that you just need to hand over to the master? Remember, you have the total power to change how you see your struggles. Everyday hope and simply grace. See you next time.